What is up, everybody? I am NerdRage36 with another Pickups video. And this time I actually got a fair amount of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. Starting with a soundtrack CD for Pokemon Yellow. But as you can clearly tell from the artwork, it is not official. It is a cover album. Specifically, an all-piano cover. Assuming she doesn't have it already, I'm guessing Miss Jaden Animations would be very interested in something like this. But honestly, even though I always like going for official stuff, like I got a bunch of official soundtracks in the closet over there, game soundtracks that either came with the game itself, came with a special edition, or whatever. This was way too interesting, just conceptually, for me to ignore, especially because, let me show you this. This isn't a recent pickup. I've had this for a while. I have a sheet music book for the Super Mario series, specifically from the original Super Mario Brothers all the way up to New Super Mario Brothers. You can see on the back there. Yeah, the most recent one in the lineup is New Super on the Wii. And I don't know, just the concept of, like, unofficial soundtracks, while it's like, okay, cool, I might listen to that on YouTube or something, the fact that you get stuff like this sheet book to perform yourself if you play, or this CD, it's like, you know what, like, the community itself is just as big as the actual, like, games, and honestly, I just think it's kind of cool. Like, how often am I going to listen to this? And I don't even know how to play music, so why do I own these? Because I can. Now, on to official stuff, starting with a strategy guide for Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. A strategy guide I absolutely did not need. If you know me personally, you know I've played this game since I was 13. Like, I played this nonstop in high school, alongside the two God of War games on PSP, and like, those three games, like, just back to back to back all the damn time. But honestly, like, the game is so special to me that even though I do not need a strategy guide for it, it's just cool to have it. Like, just for the artwork and some other things. Honestly, I didn't need it, but I wanted it. Honestly, although I gotta be honest, I wish there was, like, a poster somewhere in here. Like, just something that I could take out and hang up on my wall. That would have made this a little more worth it, but what the heck. It was cheap, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. So why not? Moving on. Sort of a follow-up to what I got in my last video, Mario Advance 2, which is Super Mario World. Again, I got Mario World over on the Super Nintendo, so why do I need this? Just because. I just like having, like, again, I like physical stuff. And plus, this added and changed a few things. It's still basically one-to-one Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. So, there you go. Like, why do I need this when I already have it over there? It's one-to-one Super Mario World, and it's Super Mario World. Yeah, and why not? I already have Mario 2 and Mario 3 on GBA. Why not Mario World as well? Up next, I am Turok. Turok the Dinosaur Hunter for the Nintendo 64. Now, what's actually kind of funny about this is I know so many people will say that certain games, especially first-person shooters on the N64, have aged terribly. And I probably wouldn't disagree with that if not for one thing. I'm pretty damn sure I have octopuses for hands. Why do I say that? Because, like, I've been able to play on the N64, on the Dreamcast. I've even been able to reasonably play Metroid Prime Hunters a couple of times on the DS/the 3DS. And, like, the biggest complaints I've always seen about, like, games on those systems, or that game in general, or even, like, Kid Icarus Uprising, which I haven't played yet, but I'm looking forward to because well, like I said, I was able to play Metroid Prime Hunters pretty well. But, like, everyone complains about the controls for those systems and those games, and it's like, I don't know. I got used to it, which, again, pretty sure these things are just octopi that got attached to my arms. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Although, if you want some advice for how to play this version of the game, because there's the HD one on Steam and Switch, simple. Use the left-handed mode. Left-handed mode is literally just the standard 2 sticks, except no 2 sticks. Like, it's the D-pad for your left hand to move forward, back, and strafe, and the stick is just to look around. Honestly, that is all you really need to do. And, like, I played this for a few minutes before recording this, and like I said, I got used to it. Reveal yourself, octopus! But honestly, I'm slightly disappointed to just get this game on its own. I'm not looking for N64 games complete in box, but I always try to get the manuals for them because I always like to keep N64 games in these old rental cases. Specifically because, well, one, N64 games on their own don't have any dust protection outside of that. Like NES games have the sleeves. Super Nintendo games have the little dust clip-ons. N64 doesn't have anything. But one of the other reasons I like having the manuals is because it's almost like getting box art for these cases. And especially because around the time that N64 was out with PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn, those games used the manuals for the cover art as well. So just throw the N64 into that pile. So it is unfortunate that I didn't get the manual with this, but who knows? I'll probably be able to find it. And yeah, glad I have this now. Up next, Objection 2 or 3. Once again, I am always confused by the freaking subtitles on these games. But it's another Phoenix Wright game. I started looking into the series. I started wanting to collect them. And yeah, Trials and Tribulations. No idea if that's the second or third Phoenix Wright game, but it's one of them. And finally, yet another Capcom game, and a big one. Mega Man X. Focus, damn it. There you go. Mega Man X on the Super Nintendo. Now, I know there's the Legacy Collection for basically all the Mega Man games, and I have the PSP version of Mega Man X Maverick Hunter, or Maverick Hunter X as the title screen says it. But, yeah, I feel like this is going to sound weird, but I always like getting original copies of certain games that even if they're available elsewhere. I mean, it's one of the reasons why, even though I now have this, I still have the Super Nintendo version. Same thing. I have other ways of playing Mega Man X, but I wanted the Super Nintendo original because on top of just enjoying playing games, I have a huge amount of respect for video game history. Ever since I started getting more and more into collecting, aside from the newer stuff that's always coming out, I always like just looking back. I always like learning about things. And I feel like there are certain games that even if they're available elsewhere, you need to, even if you don't have them on the platform, you need to at least play them once on their original platform, just for the sake, not even just the sake of authenticity, but just out of respect. And Mega Man X, and honestly a lot of Super Nintendo games, I would say fit that mold. And honestly, one of the other reasons, kind of like what I said with the Ghosts and Goblins games, I don't know what it is about me, but I seem to get a lot of Capcom games out of order. Like, I don't even have a single Mega Man game for the NES. And on Super Nintendo, I have Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It's like, what games do you think of when you think of Capcom on Nintendo? I'm pretty sure a lot of people would think those as well, but it's like, why don't I have at least one of these? But yeah, now I do. And it's, again, just out of respect for gaming history, and it's honestly one of the reasons why I do this. I like playing games, but I also love the history. I also want to show my respect. Anyway, that's all I had found this weekend, and it was really cool just to find like so much unique stuff, as well as just some big holes in certain collections that I needed to fill. So, with that, I am NerdRage36, and I'll see you later.